Hi students, okay, previously we discussed some equations, half-life temperature, average life temperature and condition for radioactive equilibrium and different properties of nuclear forces and certain terms also we discussed, mass defective binding energy, packing fraction, AMU, atomic mass unit and size of the nucleus. All these are we discussed till now in this chapter. So remaining is there like these nuclear reactions are there. I will discuss those. And before that, we will see some of the example problems or some solved problems or some practicing problems related to these equations what we derived till now. Right? So that is here we have a question on the board that is find the number of half-lives required before which 93.75% sample has decayed. So how many number of half-lives are required? Number of half-lives you have to calculate. Half-life temperature is not given. Right? Just is asked to find out the number of half-lives, how many are required to make the decay process is how much will become. This is 93.75% of the radioactive sample is decayed. Then how many half-lives are required? So that is the question. Right? So here the solution for this is here decay is this much. How many are retained? The percentage of nucleons or the radioactive sample is undecayed. So that is I am writing here the percentage of sample undecayed. So that is given by how much it is 100 minus 93.75 which is equal to how much it is 6.25%. So 6.25% is retained undecayed. So that means you know what is the fraction of number of nucleons which are undecayed for any radioactive sample is given by what is that? So we can have here as we have or we know this equation that is n upon n naught is equal to 1 by 2 power n. So this n by n naught is nothing but this much percentage is a fraction. That means how much you can write it is? You can write it is 6.25 upon 100 is equal to 1 by 2 power n. So this can be written as here 4 times 25 4. This is 25 625 but it will be 2.5. Right? So further I can write this one is 25 by 40. This is 25 into 25 is 625, right? You can be having. So that is here 25 4 jar. It is 25 625 but point is there here 2.1. Then I can write this one is 25 upon, you can put this one is 14, right? So this is a undecayed part we can be having. This is a how much percentage is given, this much is sample is undecayed. Undecayed is it is how much you will get it is. So this will be 6.25%. So this is the undecayed. So this ratio we can be having here, right? So this ratio can be, you can write that this is easily you can be put. Easily you can put as here. This decimal you can be removed and you can be put one more 100, right? 25 4, 25 into 25 you get, and here 25, here 25 again 4. Then what is it we get here? It is 1 by 4 into 4. It will be just a small change, modification. Here 1 upon 16 is equal to 1 by 2 power n. So then you can write this equation as here 1 by 16. 16 can be written as 2 power 4. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 4 times. Right? You can write here 2 power 4 or I can write 1 by 2 power 4 is equal to 1 by 2 power n. So therefore, n is equal to how much? 4. So how many half-lives are required? 4 half-lives are required to make the decay of the radioactive sample by how much percentage? 93.75% is a decayed. Already we seen in the previous video itself after number of half-lives how much percentage it will be retained, how much percentage it is decayed. So that also we observed, right? So just if you are having that one directly you can put the number of half-lives are 4. If the half-life time period is given, suppose some 5 minutes. For the radioactive sample, if it is given the half-life time period is 5 minutes, then how much time is required to become this much decayed? The time period is required to make that radioactive sample to be decayed 93.75%. How much time is required if it's a time half-life time period is of 5 minutes? So here later, if it is given T of is equal to 5 minutes, then what is the time required to become this much amount is decayed? So this much percent, 93.75% is the decayed. How much time is required? How many half-lives are required? 4. Each half-life is how much? 5 minutes. So total time is how much? Number of half-lives into half-life time period. Then you are getting the total time or time required. So total time period T is equal to, it is number of half-lives into half-life time period. So T is equal to is 4 into 5. It will become 20 minutes. So 20 minutes of time is required to make this radioactive sample to be decayed by 93.75%. So like this can be calculated, right? So here not asked for this how much time is required, is asked for only number of half-life cycles. But if at all it is given half-life time period for the radioactive sample and it is asked to find out what is the time required to make this much percentage is decayed, then just multiply this number of half-lives into time period of half-life time period, then you can get the total time required, right? Okay, this is one of the problems. And next one here, there is one more. Half-life of a radioactive sample is given. How much it is? 10 minutes. Half-life of a radioactive sample is given as 10 minutes. The time period between 33% of decay to 67% of decay. How much time interval is there between these two percentage decays? So here 33% decay to changes to 67% of decay, during which what is the time interval is there. So what is that equation or what is the time period? And is given that after time period the sample is given as how much? It is 10 minutes provided. 10 minutes provided. Then how much time period is required to change or to become the decay will be 33% to 67% it will make to be decay. How much time is required? So that is the question. So for this, just observe the rate. You know the fraction of number of neutrons undecayed. Already we written here, just now used in this previous problem. We used this ratio. So this equation, use this equation also for decay of 33%. The remaining undecayed, the fraction of undecayed for both the percentage or both the decays, correct? Now I am writing for 33% decay. The fraction of undecay is given by n by n naught is equal to, what you can write is this much is a decay, means undecayed is how much? It is 67 upon 100, which is can be written as here 1 by 2 power n. Here n is number of half-lives. Let it be I am taking this the n1 number of half-lives. n1 number of half-lives, right? So this n1 number of half-lives can be written as in terms of half-life time period, right? So I can put this one. Already I can write here T1 time period required to become or decay that 33% is given by T1 is equal to, what you can write? Number of half-lives into half-life time period, that is the T of, you can write. Yes or no, right? So from this, what is the n1 you can write? So from this, n1 is equal to T1 upon T of. Yes. So this is for 33% of decay, we calculate like this. Similarly, go for 67% decay. Again, you write the fraction, that is n by n naught is equal to 67% decay means retained is how much? It is 33 only. So I can write here 33 upon 100 is equal to 1 by 2 power n2. The number of lives are given as here for 67% decay is 1 by n2. But what about n2 again? Similarly, you can write here this. Similarly, and n2 is equal to, you can write how much it is? T2 upon T of. Okay. Now you can be observed to be having used these two equations here, this one and this one, right? So now you can observe this T2 is greater than this T1, right? So because of that I am writing here second equation divided by first equation. I am putting this one is let it be first equation, this this one is second equation. So now I am doing here equation 2 upon equation 1. Then what you can make it? So this equation divided by this one. So 33 upon 100 divided by 100 by 67 you can get. So that is, I am writing here is 33 upon 100. So 100 upon 67 is equal to, here this one divided by this. Means here you can capture 1 by 2 power n2. Here also 1 by 2 power n1. That means you can write here 1 by 2 power n2 minus n1. So these 100 gets cancelled. 33 to 66. But 67 is there. Approximately you can write 1 by 2. So I can write this one is 1 by 2 is equal to, this value is 1 by 2 power n2 minus n1. n2 minus n1. So here 1 by 2 power 1. Here also 1 by 2 power 1. LHS, RHS bases powers bases are equal. So powers can be equated. So from this equation I can write here n2 minus n1 is equal to 1 only. But what about n2 n1? So here n2 is equal to this value. So n1 is equal to this value. You just put this n2 n1 values in this. Then what I can write here is t2 by t of minus t1 upon t of is equal to 1, right? So here will be this 1 by 2 1 by t of common. I can take this one is t2 minus t1 is equal to t of itself. That means how much time is required to change, or the decay will be changes from 33% to 67%. The decay time interval is how much required? T2 minus t1 is nothing but t of itself. So whenever it is changes the decay from 33% to 67%, it will gives you just it is equal to after time period of the radioactive sample only, right? So that means how much is the radioactive sample after time period 10 minutes. So how much time is required to make the decay from 33% to 67%? It is about only 10 minutes only. Therefore, so T2 minus T1 is equal to 10 minutes only, right? So this is the required answer, right? So just make the calculations according to the data provided in the question and use the basic equations what we have derived or discussed, right? These are the two problems we can just discuss, right? So we'll see few more. There is one more problem we have, that is, so I just make a reading the question and I write the data provided. So here a question is there like this, let it be. A radioactivity, the activity of a radioactive sample is A1 at the time period of T1. At a time interval of T1, the activity radioactive sample having the activity is A1. And some other time T2, at that instant of time the activity is A2. Then what is the average lifetime period of the radioactive sample? That is the question. So here the question is, I am not writing the question, just what is the question is like this. A sample has activity and time period. So activity is A1 at the time interval of T1. Activity is A2 and the time interval is T2. Then the question is find the mean life of the sample. Find the mean life of the sample. So that is the question. So this is the question what we have. So how you can make it to be solved? That is, so data is given just is at different time intervals. The activity of the radioactive sample is given as A1, A2 for T1, T2 time intervals. So within these four variables, by using this, you have to get an equation for the mean life. That is nothing but average lifetime period for the radioactive sample you have to make to be calculated. So just apply the basics. That is, what is activity formula or equation as activity equation given by. So what is that equation we have? So at T1 and writing A1 activity is equal to, what do you get here? A naught e power minus lambda T1. Similarly, at to T2, what is the activity you can write? A2 is equal to A naught e power minus lambda T2. So we want to calculate which one? Average lifetime period or mean lifetime period of that sample we want to calculate. So you know what is the equation for mean life? Mean life is nothing but reciprocal of decay constant 1 by lambda. So just calculate lambda, make it reciprocal, you will get the mean life. By using these two equations, equation 1, this is equation 2. So just to make a divide one or the other, there you can get the lambda value. Once you get the lambda, make it reciprocal, you can get the mean life of the sample. So from 1 and 2 equations, so what you can get here? Equation 2 by equation 1 I am doing here. So here equation 2 upon equation 1. Then what you can get here? A naught e power minus lambda T2 upon A naught e power minus lambda T1 is equal to A2 by A1. So there is a naught cancel. You can write this one is e power minus lambda into this T2 minus T1. I took just this minus value, whatever you know, this minus is common I have taken, because once it is moving up it will become plus. So minus I have taken common means here minus to minus plus it will become, right? So now I can write, you want to get which one is lambda. For that you can make to be eliminate the exponential. To make this elimination of exponential, you have to take what do you have to take? You have to take logarithm on both sides. Taking the logarithm on both sides, taking ln on both sides. So that is, you can write ln of e power minus lambda into T2 minus T1 is equal to ln of A2 by A1. Right? So now I can write ln of exponential will get only this one. Since we can be having ln of e power x is x only. So you can get this power of exponential only you can be get. So therefore I can write here it is minus of lambda T2 minus T1 is equal to ln A2 by A1. So we want to get which one it is? Lambda. So lambda value we want to calculate or 1 by lambda can be calculated. 1 by lambda is nothing but what? That is average lifetime period or mean lifetime period only. So this minus we want to make to be removed. Here just to make the interchange. That is here lambda into T2 minus T1 is equal to ln of A1 by A2 you can write. Now I can write it is 1 by lambda. Make this lambda to this side, this value to this side. That is T2 minus T1 upon ln of A1 by A2. This 1 by lambda reciprocal of decay constant is nothing but what? Average lifetime period only. It is a T average is equal to T2 minus T1 upon ln of A1 by A2. So this is the equation for which one it is? It is the average lifetime period or mean lifetime period, that is asking in terms of T1, T2 and A1, A2. So this is the equation we have, right? So in this just write the equation for activity for the radioactive sample into different time intervals at T1, T2 we have A1, A2, just make the division one or the other and write the equation for 1 by lambda, then you can be having that 1 by lambda is nothing but mean lifetime period only, right? So this is another question what we have. Okay, and now we will go for one more question that is given or that question is a radioactive sample can decays. Let it be the question I am just reading. A radioactive sample can be decayed in two different process. The half-life of first process is T1 and half-life of the second process is T2. Then find the effective half-life of the sample. half-life of the sample. So what is given? A radioactive sample is making the two different process. So here two different process. A sample making or making two different process, and in this two different process, the first process the half-life tempered is given as T1. In the second process, the half-life tempered is given as T2. Then find the effective half-life tempered of the sample. So the sample can be having the two process simultaneously it is doing. That is a parallel process, you can say, or parallel decay. Right? So during that parallel decay, that one of the process having the half-life tempered is a T1, in another process having the half-life tempered is a T2, then what is the effective or resultant half-life tempered of that sample is given the individual half-life. So for two processes are occurring for that radioactive sample. In the first process, we have that half-life tempered is a T1. The second process, half-life tempered is a T2. Right? So individually it is given, but what is the effective half-life tempered of the sample? So that is a question. Right? It is somewhat important. Important question it is. Right? So we have here there are two processes for that half-life tempered is given as T1 for first process, and for second process the half-life tempered is given as a T2 here. Right? You want to get the resultant half-life tempered for or the effective half-life tempered for that sample. So for that, just to make it to be observed, half-life tempered is given for first process, right? And for second process also it is given, half-life tempered is given. We want to get the resultant half-life tempered. Resultant half-life tempered. So now I can write this one. For first process, the radioactivity or activity I can write. For the first process, the activity, let it be, I can put the disintegration constant is lambda 1 and disintegration constant is lambda 2. The decay constant in two processes I am taking, let it be lambda 1, lambda 2. So now I can write activity for this one is, that is d n1 upon dt is equal to, you can write it is lambda 1 into number of nucleons are n only initially, right? Similarly I can write so this is lambda 1 n. So dn1 upon dt is equal to minus lambda 1 into n. Similarly for second process also the activity is given by rate of disintegration is given by dn2 upon dt is equal to minus lambda 2 into n only. Right? So this is what you can be observed to be having here. So now the resultant total activity, the resultant activity is given by sum of this one you can be having. Right? So I can put this one net activity, this is related to is a1, or I can write this is a dn1 upon dt plus dn2 upon dt, or a1 plus a2, you can write both also. So net activity can be written as, net activity is nothing but you can be having here the net decay constant is a lambda, and the net number of nucleons will be, how many are there? N only, so it is minus is equal to whatever this equation dn1 by dt, it is nothing but minus lambda 1n minus lambda 2n we can be having here. So n you can take common, minus n if you take in common, minus n if you take in common, lambda is equal to here minus n is lambda 1 plus lambda 2. So this minus n is gets cancelled. So here the net to decay constant is given by just this addition of individual decay constants. Whenever we have the parallel decay, or simultaneously doing the number of process for a given radioactive sample, the resultant or effective radioactive decay constant is nothing but sum of individual decay constants for the respective processes. Right? That is called parallel decay. So here parallel decay is going on. So that here the decay constant for the first process lambda 1, for second process lambda 2, then the effective decay constant is done by just addition of both. Lambda 1 plus lambda 2 is nothing but lambda only. Right? Now in this, once we know the lambda, we can write what is its half-life tempered. Right? So we can write what is the half-life tempered in terms of decay constant. It is ln2 upon lambda is nothing but you can be observed to be having, what do you correct? Half-life time period is ln2 upon lambda is equal to half-life time period. So here lambda is equal to ln2 upon half-life time period. So resultant half-life time period I am writing capital T of, which is given by ln2 upon half-life time period for the first one, that is how much is there, T1. I am writing here it is T1. I am writing let it be this is T itself plus ln2 upon T2. So now you can write this ln will be cancelled. So what is the resultant you can be having here? 1 by T is equal to 1 by T1 plus 1 by T2. Where T1, T2 are the half-life time period for the first process and second process for the given radioactive sample. So effective half-life time period is given by the capital T, which is given by this one. If it is happening or taking only two decay process or two parallel process occurring. In first parallel process or in first process after time period T1, second process after time period T2, then the resultant half-life time period for the combination of both is given by this is a capital T. So we can use this equation. If three processes are both plus 1 by T3, so like that you can be extended. So this is what you can be observed to be having the equation. So T is equal to what you can write here, T1 T2 upon T1 plus T2. So this is the resultant half-life time period, the effective half-life time period. Effective half-life time period of the sample. Right? So in this way we can be solve the problems related to this half-life time period and average time period or decays. Right? Okay. We'll see some more problems, and also the next topic is we have only nuclear reactions are there, that is fission, fusion, and how much the energy is liberated in during the fusion and fission to get the stability. We are having that type of nuclear reactions, right? So that reactions we will see in the next videos, right?